Today, I want to share something that's become clearer to me the last few weeks and that I've really appreciated. So let me take a stab at sharing it. I'm going to go back and start with something I've talked about before, which is frame one and frame two. And as a introduction to them or a reminder, by frame two, I mean the perspective of everyday life, the commonsensical perspective that we all grew up inside of. It's a perspective that we are individuals, we are agents, we take actions, we are responsible for our lives and the consequences we produce for others, all of that. It's everyday life. And we live in it, we know it. And it's fine. So I'm not attacking it, it's fine. But there's also, I find, a different frame that I like to call frame one, and that is the frame of transcendence. It's the frame in which we see something very different, and it is the frame in which all of that happening in frame two, all of that stuff that's going on, we see that it doesn't ultimately matter. Or I'm going to say it several different ways, that it couldn't be other than it is. Like it could only be this way. It could be no other way, not now. Or that we aren't the ones doing it. We as individuals aren't really doing it. We are a part. We are an expression of this whole unfolding, but we're not doing it. And we don't actually have the agency that we think we have. Um, or, and this one's from Shakespeare, we see that all of that stuff, all of that everydayness, all of that drama is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. It doesn't ultimately mean anything. Now, that's not to say it's not real. All of that stuff, all of this everydayness, all of this frame too, it's real. It's real in that the stuff fits together a certain way, and when our emotions take us, they are real. And the concerns we have, they're real. So I'm not saying it's not real. What I'm saying is it's not ultimately true. And those are different. Real, we interact with, we take seriously. But whether it's ultimately true is a different matter. And what I mean by that is that the things we believe in, that the disposition we have, the emotions we have, when we're totally into them, we believe they're revealing the great truth and it's meaningful. And I'm saying, no, it's not the great truth, nor is it really meaningful. In a relative sense, it is, but not in any kind of ultimate sense. And that flip to frame one, that produces freedom. That takes us out of all the meaning we're caught up in, all the drama. It just is seen to not be ultimately true. Now, I'm not talking about abdicating responsibilities in frame two. Let's say frame two is the play. It may be a play told by an idiot, but it's the play, and it's the only play we have. And in the play, we have a role. I'm husband, father, management consultant, explorer, friend, different roles. And in frame two, I play them. So I'm not in any way saying to abdicate any responsibility or go into a kind of nihilist view and say, none of this matters. Someone long ago said, the truth believed is a lie. So adopting like none of this matters as a belief just takes you to another false place. But seeing for yourself that there's a different perspective, that's something different. Different teachers point at this in different ways. Ramesh Balsekar, who I've always been grateful to, emphasize you're not the doer to have people see it. Like really look and see, are you the doer? Are you really the one responsible for your actions? And that was a frame one pointer. Byron Katie has people see that their thoughts are not true. A Course in Miracles says, it is my meaningless thoughts that are showing me a meaningless world. So these are pointing at that relative reality is not ultimately true. In frame two, we act in the role that we have, life unfolds. It's correct to act with care and with responsibility and to explore what shows up in frame two, not to disregard. But we can also be right here now free and see all of that as the play. Time is at play here. In frame one, all there ever is now. That's all there is. There's just now, right now. That's it. There's nothing else. In frame two, we live in a sense of time that has past and present and future, and that's appropriate. We need to schedule things for the future, and we can consider things from the past if they're relevant now. That, by the way, is one of the ways to make the jump, is to see that all there is now. What happens along the way? Well, we get pulled into the play. Most of us grew up, the play was the only real thing. And maybe occasionally had a glimmer, like there must be something beyond or something else, or there's something wrong with the play. Because one of the conceptions of the play is that if you just get things right, you will have achieved something. Life will turn out. If you get the right relationship, or you get the right career, or you write the book, or you get wealthy, or you get famous, or you get enlightened, whatever it is, like that, life will turn out then. But that's the con. It never does in frame two. It just keeps us running on the wheel. So sometimes when people get to the place where they realize they achieve some of these things and discover life still is missing something, or whatever curiosity calls them on, or whatever interesting experiences they had, frame one begins to be a possibility and open up. And some people show up in calls like this from that. What I find is even as you begin to have some of that awareness, the play can still hook you and become overwhelmingly real and seem totally true. And in those moments, the emotions can be really powerful and the perspective they give looks completely true, like a deep truth has been revealed to you. How do you get free in those moments? And I'm absolutely saying, don't deny that you're feeling any of that. It's all real. But the truth of it is the problem, the belief that it's ultimately true. So I find for myself, sometimes I can simply expand and include. And there's a talk I've done on that, what that means, but just be able to see like, boy, I really don't like this. And then just get it like, oh yeah, I really don't like it. And I'm not suffering anymore. I'm simply at peace with, oh, yeah, right now what's showing up is I really don't like it. Other times, I'm so stuck that I need to turn to Katie's practice of the work and really go look at what's true into that very deep inquiry. And then I find that that releases me from it. I see through the beliefs and the thoughts that were there. So that's what I found has helped. In a way, it's a kind of magic because the situation can be so entangling and so seemingly true that when I pop and it's almost a kind of jump out of it and see it as all part of the unfolding and that it's fine ultimately and it's meaningless and what I believe is not true, I find it just a tremendous freedom, a kind of transcendence. Back when I was writing on it, my title for the piece was "The Magic of Transcendence." Anyways, that's what I see. I wanted to share it with you. Thanks for watching.